Hello everybody, welcome back to another Arsenal Pass Classic Constructed gameplay video. So today we have Dash versus Viserai. Dash is looking pretty similar to how it used to look back in Crucible and throughout Monarch to an extent. Chain maybe has kind of diminished a bit, from its Monarch dominance, which does allow Dash a little bit more freedom in how the deck is built. Anyway, let's talk about a few items I got here. We're going to start out with the Induction Chamber. We do have the Plasma Purifier in the deck. And what's most notable about that, by the way, it's two. We do have the High Octane. So setting up big High Octane turns with the double Purifier outs, the double Purifiers out is something that we're going to be looking to do at all possible. Those are kind of our real big pivot turns. Other than that, just want to note Command and Conquer. Command and Conquer, obviously, we've all seen it for probably years now at this point, but it's just going to be really good into Viserai, especially when he's, Hayden might be arsenaling a Mordred Tide or something of that nature. He's going to try to explode with a 5-card hand against this class. Command and Conquer, very good for us, but also it's, we only have 3 Command and Conquers and 1 Tome of Fyendal, and that's all the generics. Other than that, we should be hitting our boosts 100%. For armor, by the way, Tectoplasm Pistol, kind of goes without saying, but I should probably say it. So for armor, we got the Arcanite Skull Cap, very standard. Also might help us with some of the arcane damage Hayden is presenting at us if we're at a lower life total. Really relevant actually now with the Spellbound Creepers, because we can actually break them by, maybe a Vexing Malice that's going to kind of let it persist for another turn. We've got the Tekla Foundry Heart. We'll be using that to probably some extent because, like I said, we don't have too many generics and not too likely to whiff. Achilles Accelerator. It's there for the high octane turns, but it's more interesting because we are playing against Viserai. So if we pop it too early, it's generally pretty bad for us. So we'll probably be using that very conservatively and mostly likely in a situation where we're going to be winning the game off it or putting ourselves in a position where we literally can't lose. Other than that, we got Goliath Gauntlet. Goliath Gauntlet's going to hit the Command and Conquer, make it 8, and also we got Throttles in the deck, so we'll hit that as well. So like I said, Dash looking very similar to how it used to. Plays pretty similar. Nothing crazy going on over here, but we got Viserai on the other side of the table, and Viserai got a few new toys to play with. Isn't that right, Hayden?
Definitely. Just a couple, but some pretty impactful ones. So we've got a Viserai list here that is very much using Spellbound Creepers, the new equipment from Tales of Aria, to push through go against, push through instant speed, non-attack actions, which can be really powerful. Some ways to trigger things like Plunder Run even you can play into, which is really nice. At instant speed, so give you an on-hit effect plus the go again as well, which is really cool. But in essence, what this deck is really trying to do is also utilize Rosetta Thorn. So a new weapon coming out of Tales of Aria, actually really strong when you are playing a game plan of non-attack into attack and coming in and always guaranteeing that you're coming in for 4 damage, split across 2 and 2 with the Rosetta Thorn, which is really difficult for opponents to deal with. They're probably going to be taking 2 damage either way. Either they block with a card or they block out the Null Rune. They block out the Arcane. They're probably still going to take 2, unless they want to commit 2 cards to a 1-cost weapon, which is pretty massive. So the ways we're enabling that is through cards like Mothrin Skies. Obviously, allows our attack action to get going, gives us an on-hit effect, and then allows us afterwards to come in with the Rosetta Thorn. Cards like Rune Flash as well, really important for this as well. Just sort of a bit more go wide, low to the ground, and cost reduction is really important. And then we've got Mordred Tide. These are like our big turns. This is kind of our high octane, so to speak, from our side. We can set up some really strong 5-card hands where we get 5, 6, 7 room chance in a turn. We've got a few ways to really double down with Mordred Tides, especially with Viserai's ability, with our non-attack actions. All of our, a lot of our on-hit effects have creation of rune chant tokens as well because of Mothrin Skies. We've got meet and greets, things like that as well. So yeah, really excited about that from the equipment side. Of course, we already talked about the boots. Basically, we're just playing like a bit of a mini fridge. The rest of the equipment here just defends really well. We've got the skull cap. We've got the grasp, which is also going to help us make some rune chants early in the game. Doesn't probably get utilized as much as in some other decks because this is a sort of a mid-rangey aggressive deck. And then we've got the Skeletor. The Skeletor we can use to make something cost less, but generally this is going to be defending 3 across the game. That's usually what it's going to be used for. Anyway, we'll grab some dice. Do you want to order?
I'll take even.
All right, it is. This is 2. What would you like to do?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So resident Dash Master over here, Hayden, told me before this game that Dash pretty much wants to go first every time. Obviously, probably to grab an item and set up, but almost more. That point is pushed when you're against Viserai, where he could probably just go read the rid turn 1, get an arsenal, play 5-card hand into you. So
you don't want me going first, that's for sure.
We are going to be going first, and we have one of my favorite items in my opening hand. In classic fashion.
It's not good for us to view the item on turn 1. All right.
We're just going to play this Mark of Genius X = 4. And back in my potato days, I used to grab the induction chamber every time. But Hayden,
You get 2 resources to load up those equipment as well.
I do. I'll probably be doing that before.
Yeah. So load
I
up
wasn't
first,
thinking.
and then get in.
That's what happens when you get really excited about the Spark of Genius. But yeah, I just had to give my spiel about Hayden changing me to be a better Dash player while I proceeded to make terrible plays. Awesome. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and arsenal pass it.
So the reason you get Purify first, right, is it's just more resource efficient. So you come in for the same damage as if you got another chamber, because it'd be 2, 2, and 2. So 3 attacks for 6. Get the Purifier, it's 2 attacks for 3, right? So it's easier to defend out. But in an aggressive matchup where defending is kind of not really where most decks are going to want to be into this matchup anyway. You get the Purifier, it's still 6 damage, but it's 1 less resource, so it's pretty efficient, which is nice. Alright, I would have probably liked to filter this hand to some degree, but it's not the end of the world. We're going to
Wow, Rosetta Thorn is so interesting in Viserai. Like, Viserai was probably the hero I got most excited about as we saw the chain banning. Just because Spellbound Creepers, and of course, like I think Sting of Sorcery looks really cool in that deck as well.
Yeah, we're going to activate Grasp, Pitching, and Arcane Shard. Which is
spicy.
Yeah, going to give us an additional rune chant. So
if it's cold foil, you get 3 rune chants, I heard.
If my Arcane Shard's cold foil?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, I'll have 3 rune chants. Alright, we got 2 rune chants. Then we're going to play in this yellow Morven Skies. So starting up our chain, our Rosetta Thorn chain. So we're going to give our next attack go again, and then we're going to be playing this. So I have 1 resource left. We're going to play this Drawn to the Dark Dimension. So coming in for 3, it's going to cost 2 less things to our rune chants, and we're going to draw a card. So two rune chants on the chain here first.
Yeah, take those rune chants, and then I'm going to go ahead and block for 3 here at the blue throttle.
Okay, so you don't. It was a snap. Take the rune chants, not even consideration. So I have a big thing going.
Might be able to tell what color my hand is.
All right, 1 resource left. We're gonna break the. Sorry, we have an additional rune chant from the Viserai trigger on this drawn.
Yeah, got to get used to that after playing Chain, right? He's like chain triggers off playing.
I've been really enjoying playing this deck though. It's has a lot of there's a lot of fun things you can do. Obviously, we talked about Spellbound Creepers, ways to get extra action points. A lot of 5-card hands I think are really hard for your opponent to play into when you're on offense. There's so many things that you could be doing. It feels a little bit like playing Dorinthia in some ways with your attack reactions. You turn your non-attacks into attack reactions. I'm going to play this Tome of the Arknight. So we just kind of have a free tome here. So we'll just go for it. It is blind, but we're 50-50 in this deck. We're going to get another rune chant from the Viserai trigger. And we'll flip over. So we've got Meet and Greet and Spellblade Assault. So we whiff on that. It's alright.
And they just go back on top, right?
Yeah, they just go back on top.
Good to know.
So we could have not played it, right? That breaks the chain. We could have not played it, and we would have had this card for Arsenal. But also, if we hit there, we probably have the chance to come in with the attack that we draw and get an Arsenal card, which you could probably argue is maybe only okay, but it would also create extra rune chance. So we're gonna come in for 4 arcane and 2 physical here.
Yeah, that's like a pretty decent 6 damage there. So, and it's like not a great way for me to block this. It's just 1 blue in hand.
It's the thing with Rosetta Thorn. Difficult.
Yeah, that is the thing. So, like in retrospect, the most efficient block would be for you block with a red on the last attack and then use the blue here. But I was actually planning on keeping this hand, which is what's weird. I just have to think about the on-hit triggers and if I'm going to be above on life. I think it's a maybe that I might be above you on life, so I'm going to take the 2 rune chants and the 2 arcane, and I'll block with Skullcap.
Okay.
So I'm at 34.
Yep, 34 plus 40. I'll pass the turn.
So if I hit my Commander Conquerors or my Tome here, it's pretty bad. All right. I'm going to load the Purifier with Tekla Core here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to 0-60 and boost. It hits, so 4th, go again.
Yep. I'm going to block with this Meet and Greet. Take 1, go to 39.
Sure. Then I'll play High Speed Impact and boost. It misses. So just for 4 here.
Just a 4.
That's one whiff out of the deck. Unfortunate, because we would have had quite a bit more damage, but it's all good. We just keep our counters, which we were kind of really just setting up for the next turn.
My hand's pretty bad. So I think what we're gonna do is there's no. So I have an all red hand, so not a whole much I can do other than just try and set up. Or just chip him with the weapon for 2. So we'll go ahead and block the Spellblade Assault for 3. I'll take another one to 38.
Yep, 38 it is. Bit unlucky for Hayden there on the draw.
Alright. You hit a Command and Conquer. I'm okay.
Yeah. You should see the color of my hand now. I have a very blue deck too, which is...
I'll just come in for 2.
Coming in for 2. Alright, I'm just gonna block for 3.
Cool. I'll see Arsenal plus you.
Do you ever like have like a very red hand, Hayden, as dash,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the item, and like you can, like, let's say I could swing for potentially 10 damage, or I could just play the item and pass and keep a card in hand. I'd probably go for 10 and then Arsenal the item, right?
I think it depends on like where you are in the matchup. I think if you're ahead enough that the way that your opponent gets back into the game is just putting together good hands and punishing you late game, then you probably just try and get the item down, right? Because if you get the item down, then you can block out efficiently, block out rune chance efficiently, and then just sort of like squeeze the game in a more sort of controlling fashion or a mid-rangey sort of fashion. Whereas if you commit to the aggressive plan, right, then if I just draw better hands that do more damage, then potentially you're in some trouble there, right?
Yeah. Interesting. Because now we're playing into the 5-card hand too, so it's...
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Let's say you came in for 10 damage here, right? I get out to 29, and I'm keeping if I like my 5-card hand, I'm keeping it regardless. So I get up to 29 plus 34, I get my 5-card hand. But if you say you had an item, and I don't want to sway Brennan's, like thought process, I'm just going through, maybe I did want to block with some cards when you come in for the attack. I keep a 2-card hand, probably keep on life parity, and then I find a better hand, and you don't have an item. So it's like a real trade-off, and one of the hardest parts about playing probably Dash is like winners. It's not 100% always correct to play the items, so it's sometimes correct to just go for damage, especially in these more aggressive builds of Dash.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. All right. I'm going to go ahead and play High Speed Impact and Boost. It hits, so coming in for 4.
Okay.
It's weird. I'm trying to kind of minimize my risk of hitting like command. Like I only have 2 command conquers left. Those command conquers scare me so much when playing this deck. Just like whiffing on them on like super key turns. Because because like in other matchups you can just pop the Achilles, kind of. Like obviously you'd rather using it proactively, but if you have to use it reactively versus, it's not like the end of the world. But Viserai, it really is kind of the end of the world.
Yeah, I think I'm okay to take 4 here. I think my hand's good enough. I'm going to 35.
Sure. I'll zipper hit for 4 boost. 0 to 60.
Right.
Hits. 5.
This is very aggressive. 1 card in hand?
Yeah, 1 card in
hand.
hand.
Resources. I can assume that's probably going to get stuck in the old arsenal, because if you were going to use your weapons, you would use them first.
Maybe, right? There is, like, maybe I don't want to blast all my counters quite yet.
Right, but if you're going to use them in a turn, you use them first to mitigate.
To mitigate the variance.
Yeah, because that's generally if you were committed to playing an attack plus using your counters from your weapons in a turn and then reloading them back up, you're better off coming in with the weapon first, reloading, and then coming with your attack. So if you whiff the boost, you still you get the value out of your resources. I'm just going to take the 5 here. We'll go down to 30.
I think you're down 29 if you take 5, right?
Was I on?
I had you on 34 all.
Yeah, I was on 30. I took 2 last turn, didn't I? You came with 2 attacks for 4. Yep. I was on 38, and 34. Yep. And then now 29.
Sweet. I'll swing the pistol for 2 here.
I want to keep my equipment for Command and Conquers. It's kind of the one thing I'm most worried about. As much as I want to get value out of Skullcap here, I think we're going to definitely be at a lower life total at some point in this game. I don't think my next turn is crazy. We'll go down to 27.
Okay. All Arsenal and pass.
A pretty good turn off a yellow. You kind of see the power of the boost.
Yeah, I was quite happy to kind of get away with that one, which it really felt like I was doing that.
So I'm going to play this out. Yeah. So it feels a bit weird that we're just playing these out, but the upside is really high and the downside is really low on just playing these.
Is it Tome?
Yeah, we're going to play out the Plunder Run, and then we're going to play... So Plunder Run Red from Arsenal, and then we'll play Tome of the Arcanite from hand, which is going to get us a rune chant from the Viserai trigger.
Yeah, really hope this one misses. Off the P run. Okay, we got a CNC.
CNC and Captain's Call, so it does hit. So you both these into hand. Yellow.
That's a yellow. Okay.
Yeah, CNC.
Oh, yikes, bro.
Sure you enjoy that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was at a Road to Nationals playing as a chain, like kind of normal aggro chain deck with like the flocks and stuff, and he just threw in Tome of the Arcanites.
Yeah,
and he played Tome of the Arcanite, and obviously didn't have like a 50-50, I don't think, to hit, but then he hits Soul Reaping and I think it was Shadow Puppetry. And I was like,
nice.
Nice.
We'll play Morph Skies, which is going to get us another rune chant from Viserai trigger. And then we will... it's yellow. So then we'll come in with Meet and Greet, which is going to come in for 2 rune chants and 7 physical. And we get another rune chant off the Viserai trigger.
So take the 2 rune chants.
Yep.
You said 7, right?
Yeah. 0-32. You can see that there's a lot of like split damage with this deck, with a lot of breakpoints. Obviously, like 7's a good breakpoint here as well.
How many cards in hand do you have?
2 cards. The 2 you know about.
Okay. That's interesting.
So if we'd whiffed on the Tome on our turn, it's kind of fine. All we end up doing is just coming in with Meet and Greet for 7, pushing the on-hit effect. We still have a couple of rune chants, and then we come in with the Rosetta Thorn, which is still really reasonable.
I'll block for 3 and take 4.
Okay. So down to 28.
Yeah, 28 plays 27.
Yeah, and we're going to plunder around, draw a card. And we're also going to get 2 rune chants from the skies.
Yeah. I just cannot cover that up and deal with the CNC, most likely.
So 3 cards in hand.
Yeah, 3.
So we're still below Brendan on life, which means that skull cap isn't on, so we'd have to block with 2 cards to cover the CNC, which is pretty important. Which I think we're pretty down with. Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll pitch the Captain's Call, and we'll play the CNC for 6 and 3 Arcane.
Yeah, I took the Arcane and block for 6. Well, actually could have, because the Arcane
you can now skull cap. Yeah, you can use skull cap now.
Let me reconsider that.
Yep, all good.
I'll go back.
I wasn't trying to fake you out. I just kind of forgot that these 3 rune chants were coming in. I was pretty focused on the CNC here.
I do think that I will block with the armor plus his throttle.
Yeah. And we'll see Arsenal. Still the play I want to make. It's not a consideration how many cards we take there. I just want to try and take cards, get armor, push damage as much as possible, and set up for next turn. I'm worried about Brennan having a CNC from Arsenal, though, that's for sure. Put it this way.
Yeah, worried about the CNC from Arsenal. I'm at 25.
Yeah, 25 plays 27.
That's an interesting choice. That would be...
Yeah, I'm really glad that I get to play some Viserai again. I think Viserai was like a reasonable choice in the previous format, but Chain was just kind of probably the stronger Runeblade. Did a lot of the things that we're doing right here, just much better with with the seeds available.
Yeah, pistol, chamber, pass.
Yeah, low pistol chamber. Okay, sure. Well,
It feels kind of weird. I could have came in for 10 there, but then like, God, it's just send physical, no on hit trigger. It doesn't feel too good.
yeah. Hand's pretty bad. So
Okay.
I mean, you're vindicated.
Yeah, I mean, I was there last turn. I remember that. You know,
I would have
Coverage
liked to
Farm
defend it.
remembers the tome.
I think. This is tough.
Yeah. Well, Vindication is definitely ideal here.
I think we actually missed a rune chant last turn. That's my fault. I missed a trigger on the meet and greet. I should have had one extra rune chant. Just realized.
Sure.
Someone's gonna pick that up. I definitely did. I missed it on when the meet and greet hit. I drew the card, created the 2 rune chants, but it should have been 3 rune chants created. So just missed the damage there. It's a trigger that can be missed.
Yep,
it's beneficial.
I've missed more than one in like the past competitive season with Chain. I remember I would just be like, "What the heck am I thinking?" Pretty rare, but I still remember missing 1 or 2. You know, I was not happy. Not happy at all.
I think probably go.
Dum 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 dum. Real interested with how bad this hand is, because
it's pretty trash.
Yeah, it's going through my mind. It's like, how bad can it be? It's 5-card hand.
How bad is 4 red attack actions?
All right. There we go.
Okay, we're gonna play E-Strike, and we're going to draw a card and come in for 5.
Very interesting. So we are going to be Spellbound Creepering. I thought you said, no way. Are you randoming for the non-attack? Or can you play it? You can play it out of Arsenal, eh?
Yeah, I was thinking so once per turn, I can put a bind counter on a spell, but Creepers. I can
for
play
some reason, I was thinking
action.
Just out of hand.
Yeah, is there an instant activated?
I thought you were like randoming in front. You say randoming for the blue.
Maybe I am.
Oh yeah.
We're coming for 5.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and block for 3. Take 2.
I have an attack reaction, unsurprisingly. I pitch this Tome the Arknight to
every time
put a bound counter on Spellbound Creepers. We'll use this, and then so I can play my next non-attack as an instant, which I'm going to do during the reaction step. I'm going to play this Mordred Tide from Arsenal.
That is like a hilarious save.
Yeah, we'll get to go again. I mean, this is one of the powers of Spellbound Creepers, and now Brennan's pretty incentivized to block up or cover up the Arcane this turn if I create any, so that can't.
I do feel incentivized.
Can't keep it around, but yeah, okay. 2 resources left. Mordred Tide resolves. You take 2.
Yep, I'm at 23 plus 27.
Yep.
Well, all the tomes are gone.
This is true. Until I,
shuffle. Yeah.
Become the Arknight and get another fee. We will go ahead and create a rune chant, which is going to give us 2 rune chants thanks to Mordred Tide. Means we definitely get to take a card from Brennan, which I'm pretty into. And then we will pitch Spellblade Assault to play Spellblade Strike. So coming in, we're going to get 2 from the Viserai because of Mordred Tide. We're going to get 2 from Spellblade Strike as well.
Not coming in, so just 4 on your next turn.
Exactly. Yep. But 2 this time in full physical.
And 0 cards in hand.
0 cards in hand. Yep.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Is there an on hit for this?
No on hit, just 4 physical. Yeah, not my favorite 5-card hand, but you can see, we had an all red hand there. We had the Mordred Tide and Arsenal, Spellbound Creepers gets us out of it. Otherwise, we basically didn't really have. So other play we could have made is go again with the E-Strike and then come in with the Spellblade. But what I like about this play is we actually get to set up 4 rune chants for next turn, and we force Brennan to at least, probably cover up the Arcane or just take the damage and let us sort of keep some momentum.
Yeah, cover the Arcane, take the 4.
Yep.
Sure.
19.
19 it is.
Yep, and then we lose Spellbound Creepers. There's definitely like an argument for trying to keep it around for another turn and maybe just keep the Mordred Tide for a bigger turn. But I mean, you know, an additional 3 of that, it's pretty reasonable. Your turn.
Goliath Gauntlet.
Yep.
Throttle for 8 boost. Hit.
Yep, so for 8. The other thing as well is I'm not keen to keep around Arsenal for multiple turns in a row where I could get CNC'd. Ideally. Okay. Probably trying to set something up, I guess.
Hopefully we can find a way back.
Yeah, I think the game's pretty close. I'll block 3, take 5. 22.
Okay, I'm gonna Tekla Foundry Heart.
Sure.
Double hit.
Double hits.
I guess we look in the same way, just 2 more damage. A load. Swing for 2.
Yep, sure. 20. Oh, no box. You need to take Rex? Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, react. Reload the pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, pass.
Okay.
Okay, 3 card hand. What will he do to me?
Yeah, it's not that great, so you're all good. I'm gonna play this yellow Flock of the Featherwalkers, revealing Morven Sky. Actually, yeah, play that way.
Yep. So 4 arcane and how much?
4 physical, 4 arcane. You have a quicken token.
Gotta take the 4 arcane.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll block for 3. Take 1.
Yep. 14. Alright, we're getting down to pretty interesting life thresholds here.
Kidding.
Arsenal pass.
So just me thinking here. Very interesting.
Yeah, I'm also, my hand's got some decisions about whether I want to defend or how I want to defend, depending on what Brennan comes in with here.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes it gets fucking complicado here. We get the...
I think one of the, so we're at 20, Brennan's at 14. I do feel like we're pretty even on parity. Like, yeah, we have more life and we have our equipment, but Brennan also has, 3 items out and the ability to really squeeze us in the end game if we don't get him down to where we're presenting lethal every turn, probably next turn or the turn after.
All right. Yeah, off Purifier coming for 3.
Purifier coming for 3. Okay. Some decisions to make, I think.
Quicken token, as they say.
Quicken.
The quicken token.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
3. I think we're going to take 3 here. Well, no blocks.
Yeah, react.
Yep. Down to 17.
Low pistol. Low chamber. Low purifier.
Yep.
Pitch combustible. Command and conquer for 6.
Yeah. Okay. I wonder if that would come soon.
Yeah, it's the last. I think it's the last one, but It's weird. We bust. So what I was afraid of was like coming in 2 times with tech and then getting on parity. Well, I guess it wouldn't have mattered with because of the Arcane Skull Cap. I just didn't want the Skull Cap block. I'm thinking. Dang, I wish I had some blues though. It's like such a blue deck too.
Yeah, I mean less so than some of the control decks, right? But yeah, it's still pretty
Yeah,
blue
for
heavy.
sure.
Feels like you haven't drawn that many. I think we. Definitely going to be blocking with one card and probably Skullcap plus a piece of equipment. It's actually interesting. I can block with Skeletor now because you think, well, block with Skeletor, then it's it's the one you're probably going to use at some point. But it's very rarely we're actually going to use it in this deck. And what I'm more interested in is probably blocking with it with the Grasp for 2, so that we can then block with Skeletor for 2 later on and still get to use it if we need to. So I think that's probably what we'll do. We'll block for 6 total here.
Okay.
About that CNC.
17, 14.
I think there's like an interesting choice on like Brennan's last turn, right? With like the throttle, like the playing the Goliath gauntlets with the throttle, because obviously like Brennan doesn't know if he's still gonna get the chance to CNC me.
I really didn't think I would see another.
Yeah,
CNC.
if it's gonna go to Arsenal, yeah, it's pretty tough.
Just one more in the deck, and then like like when I did have the CNC, it was like you just had the yeah. I mean, so I did know I had the CNC by the time I did that. It was just the Arsenal. I just felt like I needed to push your life total, but I guess it could have been like it probably was better on the CNC.
Yeah.
I think that was one of those like natural, like that's like that natural instinct where you flinch and try to get the life totals closer when they're actually irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely something to consider. We're going to play the Morphin Skies here. Bit of a nombo with our Quicken, but we need to in order to present the damage on our turn. And we're going to play the Spellblade Strike, which is definitely going to have go again. And
to be fair, I also thought I'd draw some blues, which would have impacted that drastically.
No blues. We'll come in for 4 here, and if we hit, we create 2 rune chants. 2 resources left.
So you have 1 card in hand?
I have 1 card in hand, 2 resources. Come in with this red Spellblade Strike with this Morphin Skies.
So I'll take the 2 arcane.
No, the 2 arcanes next time. There's no arcane this time.
No problem. I'm just going to block for 4 here. Well, let me see if this is a red or blue. Time. Probably. Yeah, I guess it's the blue. Yep, block for 4.
Okay. I will play this Rune Flash, which is going to cost us a resource, and it costs 2 less next to these rune chants, so it's coming in for 4 with go again and 2 arcane damage.
Okay. Dang. Freaking piece of armor, man.
Yeah, the armor is so important for Brennan. Like we just saw, right? Just stopped 2 rune chants being made off that Morphin Skies. It's pretty key in the late stages of the game, but we're still coming in for, what, 8, 10, 14 damage this turn, which is pretty reasonable.
Yeah. I'll take the 2 arcane, and I'll go ahead and block this one for 3. So take 1.
Okay, so 11 plays 17.
Yeah. No on hit. Yeah.
No on hit, yeah. And then we'll come in with the Rosetta Thorn for 2.
Oh, I have to take the...
Take the 4?
Yeah.
So down to 7. Alright. Pass the turn.
Yikes. Okay. Off Purifier. Well, pistol for 3.
Okay. Surveying my options.
I think I'm surveying my life right now. It's funny because even if we had CNC for 8, all we would have, which this might, but it would probably become more relevant on the next turn cycle, but it would just be a block on Skeletor, which I guess it's obviously better than no block on Skeletor, but the current board position would be pretty similar in terms of life total.
Okay. Yeah, I really need to work this turn out. It's very, very tight, I think. Do you have 1 card in hand? Two cards.
I have 2 cards in hand.
Two cards in hand. Yeah. Two blue for 9.
I haven't seen a high octane yet though, which has not been great.
That's true.
I feel like my deck is more based around high octanes than it is double chamber. The old Runeblade math, huh?
Yeah, I just have a difficult hand. It's not really clear what I should do. A lot of lines.
Playing Sonata in that deck? I assume, yeah.
No Sonata. No Sonata. No,
Yeah.
anything that doesn't, any just pure arcane damage doesn't create rune chance, isn't making into this deck at the moment. Really trying to, utilize Mordred Tide to the fullest extent, and set up these, like cards like Rune Flash. So the arcane damage off the rune chance is pretty king. Pretty king, rather. Okay, we're gonna take the no blocks.
Yep, react.
Yeah, go to 14.
Alright. So blue.
Yep.
Load here. Load here. I guess. Not correct. Load there. Ready to pop this, so yeah, we'll go ahead and swing for 3 again.
Okay, so I'm guessing he's probably gonna Arsenal this last card. So we've loaded up the Purifier, but he might not as well. It's a good play to load up the Purifier, and it's pretty unknown what you might do if he has another blue. Just plays it. Or pitches it, sorry. I think in that case... Yeah, how many of these have we played?
Well, because your deck has so much evasion, I feel very uncomfortable with this lead total.
Good.
Good. Good, he says. No consoling words, just a good.
Go ahead and we'll block 3 here.
I'll react.
Sure.
And I'll pitch the blue. I'll triple load.
Yep.
And then I'll come in for 3.
Okay. So no Arsenal, which is nice. Can't present lethal though, which is tough.
Yeah, no Arsenal but 12 damage a turn if we draw the correct colors.
Yeah, probably more. In big turn, next turn. I can probably keep this. Okay, I think we're just gonna take this to 11.
Alright. Good luck. Your turn.
Cool. Alright, we'll just come in with CNC for 6 here. Come in for damage.
Wow. Oh man, I could punish this so hard if I didn't draw the quad blue. Oh.
Or we still can. As long as one
Yeah.
which they definitely do. Yeah, I mean, ideally the best turn we could add here is like a 3-card hand, or even if we keep 4 cards and we go to 8 and we present lethal plus, so that Brennan has to block with like minimum probably like 1 card, but probably 2 cards. Would have been ideal, but the hand just did nothing. 3 red attack actions and it become the Arcanite. Unfortunately.
Well, okay. Yeah, we'll just.
Okay, take 3 to.
Hold on, I'm thinking because this is weird. This is really weird because like there's the Achilles, Achilles pop with the 6.
Yep.
And then we get 4, so we're gonna come in for not 12. We're coming for 15 plus 2, 17. Is 17 enough if I go down to 4? Like a 17 enough damage? I can. Do I have enough resources? Yeah, surely, right? Because we go 6, we go pistol, and then like we don't really have the number.
Rather than enunciate it out loud, Brennan's just gonna talk to himself.
Yeah, it's. What do you think, Hayden? Do you think 17 is enough with no Achilles on the final?
I think it's pretty good.
turn?
If you're still on 4, you're not within lethal range of arcane damage. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. All right, I'll take your table talk. I'll block for 3.
It's not mine, it's yours. Okay.
I'm actually on 3. I'm not on 4. Yeah. It's not mine, it's yours. That's so true.
Are you on 3?
I have myself. Sorry, I'm on 4. I'm on 4.
Yep.
For some reason, I took myself down to 4.
Your turn.
Because it's like you said the number 4 too much. Just put it right in my brain. All right. Load the pistol.
Load the pistol.
off Purifier.
Mm-hmm.
Come in for 3.
No blocks. Any tech corrects?
Yes.
Okay. Good day.
Load the pistol. Come in for 3.
Three. Yeah, we blocked 2 here. Take 1? Or no reacts?
Oh, I'm gonna react, you little butthead.
No, I have no reacts, I'm saying.
Yep, comes back. Okay.
Sure.
So let me just think through this final kind of thing.
So we get that in now so that we can still block that in the future if we need to once he breaks the chain here.
Yep, we'll be breaking the chain. Certainly. So we go there. What is good enough? I think I'm just dead.
Oh, interesting.
It's like
Look, I might just be dead.
You're not dead. Because my boost is really low, is not a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
The old low rent boost.
3 damage. So
We still got 9 damage left in the tank, right?
that's the idea. Alright. I also have to hit, kind of.
Okay.
Super hit. Boost.
Coming for 3, not actually breaking the chain.
Hits.
So you're coming for 3, I'm taking this. Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna go down to 4. So 4 plays 4.
Okay, so it has to go again.
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop my Achilles.
Yep.
Still have the 2 resources.
You have 2 action points.
And, yep. And we will go ahead and swing for 3.
Yep, so you still haven't broken the chain, right? Oh, did you load up the
I did break the chain.
Okay,
I definitely
just
did
then.
break the chain.
So no cards in hand, right?
No cards in hand.
We can get the most out of our. Oh, I think I could have blocked slightly differently to get better use out of that. That's okay. Ends up being alright. Yeah. Let's play that. Yep, so we will block. Yeah. I wanted to get the skull cap usage. I think I could have done that slightly better to get the skull cap usage actually if I'd done that a bit better. Okay. We'll block 3.
All good. So it comes back. We're gonna load the pistol.
Yep.
We're gonna go ahead and Tekla Foundry Heart.
Sure. You have no whiffs left, right?
I do not. So gain a resource.
Yep.
And then we're gonna go Purifier and Chamber.
Yep.
And we'll swing the pistol for 3.
Yep. And we'll block with the grasp. And do we block with this here? No, just block with the grasp. Take 3. Okay. Take 2, sorry. Go to 2.
Take 2, go to 2. How many cards in hand?
3 cards in hand.
Okay.
3 cards in hand. We'd love to get 4. That would have been the ideal. But, you know.
I think I'm still dead.
Alright, we're going to play this Morven Skies. And then we're going to... So give me our next Runeblade attack action. Go again this turn. I'm going to play Spellblade Assault. Pitching this blue meat and green.
Okay.
So coming in for 4 for hits, I create a rune chant, and we have 3 rune chants, 1 from the Viserai trigger and 2 from the Spellblade Assault.
So, well, I am DOB in that case.
If you have an item in hand, it's not going to be good.
Yeah. So I would have to go down to 1. Well, I take these rune chants. I do have an item in hand. I am like very DOB, but like I'm just so I think I do have to block this for 6 because I'm going to skull cap.
We have 3 rune chants coming through next time. So this is just for 4 here.
Just for 4?
Yeah, 4. And if it hits crit rune chant, and I have 3 rune chants.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming at the blade as well, so I have to full block this anyway.
Okay, so block this. I'm then going to play Rune Flash from Arsenal. So 4 physical, 3 arcane.
Yeah, I'm
go
dead.
again.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
I have like a
okay, yeah. So die the arcane. Then we also have the blade if needed. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering about like the most efficient block there, and I was like, I'm just dead in so many different ways. It's ridiculous. Well, awesome. Well, very tight game there. Crazy to see how explosive Viserai can be. That Tome of the Arcane that hit the CNC and the Captain's Call. I think that was, it felt like a pretty good turning point in the game. I think you got a bit unlucky on the other one and then drew a couple red hands. But yeah, I mean, it definitely felt like a beatdown on my end for sure. But before we go into kind of our endgame analysis, just want to huge shout out, big thank you to all of our patrons. We're closing in at almost 200 patrons so far. And the support has just been awesome. On our Patreon, we host, kind of tons of exclusive content. So if you see a deck tech on Arsenal Pass, there's going to be, a whole write-up and sheet on that deck on our Patreon, including like deck theory, sideboard guide, everything written out, as well as ratios and all the math that goes into it. Everything you need to pick up that deck and just start being competitive from day one. We also have, exclusive podcasts once a month, sorry, and live sessions, which is basically just another podcast, which we do with also once a month. So check it out if you're interested. But anyway, Hayden, let's talk about that game. So yeah. I do want to do the old flipperooski off here and see how deep these. Oh wow. You'd never believe it.
Yeah, no high octane obviously in that turn. I saw a Mordred Tide, you saw no high octane. I think that can be pretty reflective of how these games, your high octane turns with like a couple of reds are going to let you push through, especially after you get the Purifier, so your attacks are coming in for 3.
Yeah.
Would have been pretty big. Interesting, I didn't realize you had 1 CNC left. I thought they were all CNCs out, so
yeah, 1 C.
Could have been a bit dicey, but yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, you thinking that I didn't have the CNC left, I think you had actually convinced me through talking about that I didn't have the CNC left either. So
I actually thought I asked in the game about the CNCs left, but yeah, I probably didn't.
I think you asked. You were like, do you have any whiffs left, right? Because obviously there was a tome at the bottom which I pitched, so like there's whiffs in the deck.
Anyway,
but,
yeah, interesting game. It might start from my side anyway, and then we can talk through into the Dash side. Yeah, I mean the deck we talked about it. Brendan said you're playing Sonata in this deck. This deck doesn't play Sonata. It really is all about Mordred Tide is the be all and end all of what we're trying to do here. We have so many ways to take full advantage of these Mordred Tide turns. So effectively, what this is it's an aggressive, sort of can transition to a mid range deck. We do have defense reactions in the sideboard. We'll post a list in the description if you're interested in having a look. I think it's a really cool list. But what the sort of main 6 is trying to do is be pretty aggressive and utilize Mordred Tide. We have cards like Spellblade Assault. We saw the Spellblade Strike. These ways that also make rune chants, and then a lot of ways to get go again with like Morven Skies. So we play 6 Morven Skies. We have the Flocks to create quicken tokens, and then you have you just have really efficient blues as well. Like we had the Tome of the Arknight. We saw how strong that can be. Where I had 2 blues in my hand, and this just acts as like a really strong non-attack action. The first time just creates a rune chant. Fine, we whiff. But the second time, we see us hit. We get into that command and conquer. And we get to, the following turn, get a Mordred Tide into Arsenal. We start to roll from there. And, you can see sort of we have quite a big equipment suite, which really helps. I think Viserai is in a pretty good position coming into this new meta. You get the Rosetta Thorn, which isn't an element-locked weapon, interestingly. So you do get to pick that up and wield it. And I think you can see it is really difficult to block a 2-2 attack as opposed to just an attack for 4. And this costs 1 resource. This is super efficient. So easy for us to pitch a blue, play something like a Morven Skies, come in with a 2-cost attack or something, or a 1-cost attack, come in with a Rosetta Thorn. There's just a lot of lines of play here. So probably next thing I'm looking at is some of the attack actions. Do we actually maybe, the reason we actually play Flock is because of the attack action versus non-attack action ratio. The consideration would maybe to play red Morven Skies, but you get a lot of these hands where you draw multiple Morven Skies, which is never where you want to be. So we're currently sitting at 6. But yeah, I mean that's the deck we're currently playing, Brendan.
Yeah, what's the idea behind the Sting of Sorcery? Is it just not good enough in that shell, or?
Yeah, so I mean that's definitely a consideration. One of the things with Sting of Sorcery, like defense for 2, doesn't create rune chance, is like a bit of an issue in this deck, I think. But it is a blue that can operate in a similar way to Tome, potentially, or it doesn't get you the card advantage. I think right now we are playing, we're playing attack actions, so we do have Dread Triptych and Meet and Greet in the blue slot, which defend for 3, but also they're attack actions, because one of the things you never want to do, the ratios of non-attacks to attacks are so important in this deck. One of the things you never want to do is like a hand of all attacks or a hand of all non-attacks, so the blues being split between attacks and non-attacks really help you there as well, but yeah, I mean, it's certainly a consideration. If you find space for it, I think you'd play it.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to rewind to the Goliath Gauntlet Throttle turn. Probably would have been debatably objectively better just to Goliath Gauntlet the Command and Conquer, because we actually knew we had it. Hayden just had no arsenal at the time, so obviously we're gonna, arsenal the Command and Conquer, wait for his next turn, and play Throttle out. So probably Goliath Gauntleting that was not correct, and we could have gone CNC for 8, which may have been more impactful. It would have just meant an earlier block on Skillata. Which could have been relevant for that later game. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I'm supposed to play this more kind of high octane aggressive shell, or if the control shell would be stronger against your deck. But it doesn't matter, right? Because I would probably play this version of the deck, or this board of the deck into every Viserai, because if I play the control shell and then I end up against OTK Viserai, and then I have a bunch of useless cards that do nothing. It's So it was close, but it was close, but it felt like a beatdown for sure. So I'm interested to kind of see how this matchup would play out. I don't know if we played it quite a few times.
Yeah.
I don't know where the advantage really lies off that one game.
Feels really close. I think we both learned a lot about that game. There was a couple of turns we both felt like we maybe could have played slightly differently. I think about my Mordred Tide turn and potentially playing that a little bit differently, holding it for a turn rather than Spellblade Creepersing to try and keep the Creepers around for a back-to-back turn, or at least to get a block out of it, was probably the only consideration there. But I did feel like ripping Brennan's hand at that point was going to help us gain momentum. That's probably the one I'd go back to. And I did miss a Rune Chant trigger off a Meet and Greet earlier in the game when we planned to run, which I wasn't not too happy about that. And I think I could have defended that last turn differently to get the ability out of Skullcap, but I was pretty convinced at that point we had the lethal. But yeah, I think we're definitely going to run it back. We'll play some games off camera, and we might update people later on.
Awesome. Well, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video.
Later.